Before we get into the article, I wanted to talk about that TikTok video you just watched of Cheslie. First of all, hell yes to that sermon. Number two, she was talking to somebody, y'all. There are just some people that you will never be enough for, and those aren't your people. There were people in her life that made her feel she just wasn't enough. You deserve love and care at every stage of life. Your breath and consciousness and soul and energy validates your existence. Moving on. I'll be giving commentary on snippets from this Allure magazine article called A Pageant Queen Reflects on Turning 30, written by Cheslie Chryst on March 4th, 2021. I'm covering ageism and the type of crash high-functioning depression gives you. The second part, which will be published later on this month, will be on the treacherousness of pretty privilege. So please subscribe and turn on the bell notifications. Cheslie says, each time I say I'm turning 30, I cringe a little. Sometimes I can successfully mask this uncomfortable response with excitement. Other times, my enthusiasm feels hollow, like bad acting. Society has never been kind to those growing old, especially women. Occasional exceptions are made, though, for some of the rich and a few of the famous. When I was crowned Miss USA 2019 at 28 years old, I was the oldest woman in history to win the title. The designation, even the sparkling pearl and diamond Mikimoto crown could barely brighten for some diehard pageant fans who immediately began to petition for the age limit to be lowered. After a year like 2020, you would think we'd learn that growing old is a treasure and maturity is a gift not everyone gets to enjoy. Far too many of us allow ourselves to be measured by a standard that some sternly refuse to challenge and others simply acquiesce to because fitting in and going with the flow is easier than rowing against the current. I fought this fight before, and it's the battle I'm currently fighting with 30. How do I shake society's unwavering norms when I'm facing the relentless tick of time? Turning 30 feels like a cold reminder that I'm running out of time to matter in society's eyes, and it's infuriating. That was an edited version of the intro to Cheslie's Allure interview that I highly suggest you read the full article. I will only be referencing certain aspects of the article. I'm making this video because honestly, I'm experiencing exorbitant levels of festivity with this. And my anger is not directed towards Cheslie. It's the culture we all are co-creating. When I read that they tried to petition to lower the age, I wanted to fight. Y'all are that bothered? It's that serious? And another group that's out here bashing women for views, bashing women over 30, are these so-called male dating coaches. Those pages. I can remember falling into depression while consuming this content for a YouTube video that I was researching for. You begin to believe that this is how all men feel. And if you actually believe that, then this is what leads to despair. I call this trash because trash content makes you feel like street trash that's about to get kicked in the sewer if you don't have a sense of self, boundaries, and knowing what you deserve regardless of how old you are. Let's do a small experiment. Go look at any of these male dating coaches, their YouTube channels, and I'm not naming any of them, but look at their views and what is the percentage of men actually agreeing with their ideology about women? Probably very small fraction. And so we're sitting here feeling like pieces of shit because a fraction of demons that are literally doing what they are co-created to do, which is torment you. We're allowing this small fraction of miserable ass fucking men to have veto powers. Like, we are giving this faction the same power as a whole society of people and how they feel. So when we say society discards women after 30, who is the society? Who the fuck is this elusive society? Who are they? The next person you hear talking about society says whatever the fuck, ask them, who is the society? Because me and pretty much everybody I know don't feel that way. Society, let me tell you what society is nothing but a single individual's mental projection magnified. Society is an amalgamation of one's greatest weaknesses. Look around you. There's tons of proof everywhere that this is your show. There is no such thing as ageism. You just need to find your people. That's it. There are women being loved on at every age. Okay. You call the shots. You make the rules. Two people I want to briefly mention, for example, I just recently found this rapper called Pardi on IG, Pardi. And he has a song called Hoop Earrings. And he's celebrating all Black women, not just women of a certain career, body type, or age. All the women. Another one is Rihanna, for example. She has changed the culture of advertising in lingerie. When you see her advertisement, you see everybody, not this one type of person or age group. People are creating these new narratives and timelines for us to be more free, to be human. Because all of us age unless you die young. These ideologies are not helpful for men or women. Even if you are reaping some type of fucking ridiculous benefit from your looks, that shit will turn on you fast psychologically once you are discarded. And I know what it feels like to be discarded. At least that's what it felt like. And I said, instead of looking at it as being discarded, because I'm certainly not trash and I don't think you are either, we need to see it as divine endings making room for new beginnings. And it does alleviate some mental suffering. I personally never suffered from the turning 30 blues. For me, it started hitting around 37. I've never been ashamed of telling people my age, but as I started to experience ageism, I completely understand why women say don't tell anyone your age. Because even the microaggressions with ageism knocks the fucking wind out of you. I was completely taken aback with my first experience regarding discrimination because of my age. I never thought I would be the type of woman that would be hurt by this, honestly. I wasn't prepared for the issues I would face trying to date. Being a Black woman, 38, with no children, and so I never prepared for it. I was totally blindsided. It felt so violent, like an assault on my soul. Why does this hurt so bad? Because at some point in our lives, we have chosen to believe what these dusty ass trolls are saying. It hurts because we believe it. We won't be believing that shit no more, I tell you that. So what can we do about it? Well, check my description for the books that has helped me with creating new neural pathways in my brain that allow for self-celebration and validation. It's called The High Five Habit by Mel Robbins, and it has revolutionized the relationship I have with myself. Don't sleep on this recommendation. Check my description. So anyway, you have to know how to build a supportive world around yourself of people that like you for you, who you are, not just for what you look like or what you can do for them, or like what you can do for their career, or how much money you can give them. Unsubscribe from these algorithms and timelines and dead end narratives. Unsubscribe from these dusty, scamming, lace fronting ass female level up coaches, because they in the box too, that tell you your worth is tied to whether or not somebody flying you out. I'ma get flew out. I'm so sorry, y'all, but like, I just can't. You're like, unsubscribe from these narratives that tell you your worth is your youth and beauty, or you must be ugly if a man not spending money on you. Unsubscribe from the con that 28 is too old. Unsubscribe from nobody wants a woman after 30 when I see senior citizens out here knocking boots, okay? Unsubscribe from your damaged leftovers and that all a man wants from you is pump and dump. These are all trash narratives from these dating coaches that you need to delete immediately. They need to be held accountable. Because why add to someone's insecurity and fucking despair? Why? It's fucking childish. But I have to say, I am seeing a lot of pushback online 2022 against this type of trash. So this is on its way out. Ageism can be sinister and sneaky if you subscribe to it. Don't do it. Cheslie mentioned she felt like she was running out of time. Why? I can even recall last year having this overwhelming, it like a wave crashing into you, like feeling like I'm running out of time. And I could not for the life of me pinpoint why I was feeling this intense and where it was coming from. All I know is I still have this feeling with me, and it's growing, accompanied by tiredness that sleep will not help. But that's another story for another day. I just felt it necessary to use this former Miss USA Cheslie chryst uicide as an opportunity to shed light on things that needs light clearly. Cheslie says, I remember being enamored by 20 and under and 30 under 30 lists that tied achievement to youth. Cheslie said, so I decided I'd earn a law degree and MBA at the same time. Why stop at 2 degrees when I can have 3? I nearly worked myself to death, literally, until an 8-day stint in a local hospital sparked the development of a new perspective. Why earn more achievements? Just to collect another win? Why pursue another plaque or medal or line item on my resume if it's for vanity's sake? Rather than out of passion, why work so hard to capture the dreams I've been taught by society to want when I continue to find only emptiness? I was rewarded with a lonely craving for the next award. Now I enter 30 searching for joy and purpose on my own terms. And that feels like my own sweet victory. End quote. Cheslie says she was searching for joy and purpose. That says it all. What more does she need to say, y'all? She was depressed, overworked, felt empty, felt irrelevant, felt old. She was a super sensitive person. She was lacking human connection. She said this, not me. So loneliness is a hole that takes a lot of people out of here. I just named like 8 or 9 things. And then she mentions working herself to death. I can recall one time I was in the throes of a depressive episode and I came across the term high functioning depression, and there was a disconnect because I couldn't understand what was being said. Because here I am, not functioning at all. And I'm like, well, damn, can I have that type of depression? What? There's a depression that allows you to work and be productive? I realize now just how much of an asshole I was being. But that was a projection. Just because depression impacted my productivity, it doesn't mean it's, does that to everyone. That was suffering. And that was my own suffering and ignorance and pain talking. Because of hustle culture, we think high functioning depression is something that is sexy. And we actually applauded it. Like, oh, this person is so high functioning and, they're depressed. And so everybody else should be able to be high functioning and work through their depression too. Stop using your depression as an excuse to not achieve your dreams. This is such a toxic cultural norm. I've literally recently heard creators on YouTube telling people that they're using their depression as an excuse, and it broke my fucking heart. Do you know how triggering that can be for someone who has high functioning depression to hear that? It's like you're gaslighting them on 1,000. You're applauding the fact that they are super depressed, overwhelmed, overworking, and not seeking help. I almost want to fucking scream. This shit is not fucking helpful. I can remember going through like a little workaholic phase, and looking back now, I was searching for that validation, and achievements seemed to be the only way to matter or get seen. I can recall the first time I got my first A-. I had a complete mental breakdown. Like someone I love had died. I cried for hours over a fucking A-. So I went from high functioning to the next semester, me never opening my textbooks at all. The entire semester. It's like my brain broke. I couldn't think, couldn't read or comprehend anything. It's like my mind ghosted me. So I'm almost positive that Cheslie had the same or similar type of mental break as me and a lot of people do. And this type of behavior is being applauded though. My good friend Sarah Landry says this disconnect that me and a lot of people feel who are depressed is a disconnect from our truth. And I think she's on to something. Cheslie was also living for others. I just listed like 10 things. She was living for others and felt an emptiness nothing could cure. There is a disconnect within some suicidal people, a tiredness that is always with you, a slow, all-encompassing void. If you're struggling, I get it. I get it. And I truly hope you find the relief and support that you need. Please confide in someone. We are losing a lot of good people. You don't have to be the ray of fucking sunshine 24/7 for everybody when nobody is your sunshine. We have to start pouring into them because they pour so much into others. Cheslie Chryst was an attorney and Emmy Award nominated television presenter and the winner of Miss USA 2019. I will have a second part to this video delving more into the treacherousness of pretty privilege and why I believe that was also something weighing very, very heavy on Cheslie's consciousness. Please subscribe and turn on the notification bells. Take care of yourself and leave the fucking dusty ass trolls in the trash where they fucking belong.